Welcome to Sugosha Media News. Today is 30th of June and here are the top defense, aerospace and strategic technology developments from India and around the world. India strengthened in defense ties with Seychelles by extending a 1,250 crore line of credit while discussions progressed on the acquisition of the advanced light helicopter. The Raksha Mantri unveiled the Delegation of Financial Powers to DRDO 2026. Indian Army announced the raising of BAAZ battalions alongside the operationalization of its first integrated battle groups from July. India also moved closer to supplying artillery systems to Nordic militaries under the Sweden-India partnership. Globally, strategic focus remained on the Indo-Pacific's first island chain, while Poland and Sweden signed an agreement for Saab A26 submarines and a new Baltic Sea Security Pact. Honeywell Aerospace began trading as a standalone company, and the UK announced plans to build drone-equipped warships instead of replacing its aging destroyers. The news in detail. Seychelles has requested India to provide an advanced light helicopter. India also announced a 1,250 crore rupees line of credit to be extended in Indian rupees to finance Seychelles' priority development projects. The Raksha Mantri released the Delegation of Financial Powers to DRDO, a major reform to enhance efficiency, accountability and timely execution of strategic R&D projects. The DFP 2026 will facilitate faster production and induction of systems, platforms and technologies emerging from the R&D ecosystem into the defense forces. The new framework will foster stronger collaboration with the industry and academia. He further said that the revised framework will contribute to enhanced self-reliance in defense technologies and strengthen the nation's defense preparedness. The DFP 2026 aims to significantly enhance functional empowerment at various levels within the Department of Defense R&D. The revised framework addresses several critical requirements, including dedicated financial provisions for trial campaigns, tests and evaluation activities, authorization for sanctioning pre-project R&D initiatives, and clear segregation of financial powers for grants and aid pertaining to extramural research projects, Defense Innovation Accelerator Centers of Excellence, and Technology Development Fund projects under the respective schedules. Indian Army is set to expand its drone fleet significantly, with the Chief of Army Staff announcing the creation of specialized BAAZ battalions to strengthen surveillance and intelligence gathering capabilities. The BAAZ battalions will build upon existing remotely piloted aircraft flights and will comprise a dedicated pool of trained personnel tasked with operating and managing drone systems across the battlefield ecosystem. This initiative is designed to enhance intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities through integrated aerial surveillance and persistent monitoring. Indian Army will operationalize its first integrated battle groups IBGs from 1st of July, advancing its timeline to create agile, self-contained formations under the Panagarh-based 17 Corps, the Mountain Strike Corps tasked with operations along the China border. The 4 IBGs and a dedicated fire support group will be raised, each commanded by a Major General. The Army's restructuring plan envisages 4 IBGs emerging from the 17 Corps 2 divisions, the 59 Division and the 23 Division. Alongside these, a fire support group comprising artillery assets will function directly under the Corps headquarters. The Army's newly developed Divyastra batteries are expected to be integrated into this fire support group, enhancing long-range precision strike capabilities. Each IBG will consist of more than 5,000 personnel drawn from 12 to 13 different units. A brigadier rank officer will serve as the chief operational officer of each group, ensuring operational cohesion. The formations will include infantry battalions, artillery regiments, units from the Corps of Electronics and Mechanical Engineers, combat engineers, and the Army Service Corps, and field medical facilities, making them largely self-sufficient. The IBGs are specifically designed for operations in mountainous terrain. Nordic militaries, led by Sweden, are moving towards large-scale procurement of Indian artillery systems and subcomponents, with Bharat Forge and Nammo Sweden forming a strategic partnership under the EU's ReArm initiative. The Swedish defense industry has entered into a major collaboration with Bharat Forge Kilsta AB, a subsidiary of Bharat Forge, under the European Union's ReArm initiative. This partnership was formalized at Eurosatory in Paris, where Nammo, Sweden AB and Bharat Forge signed a letter of intent to jointly produce and supply large caliber defense subsystems. This collaboration will allow Nordic militaries to secure reliable access to mission-critical artillery components, reducing dependence on external suppliers. Nammo Sweden AB, already a key player in ammunition and rocket propulsion systems, brings deep expertise in large-caliber munitions, which complements Bharat Forge's growing footprint in artillery systems and armored vehicle solutions. The EU's ReArm initiative was launched to address urgent shortfalls in defense production capacity, particularly in ammunition and artillery systems. Rising demand across NATO and European platforms has created pressure to diversify supply chains. By partnering with Bharat Forge, Sweden and other Nordic states are ensuring resilience in their defense industrial base. The first island chain, stretching from Japan through Taiwan and the Philippines towards the South China Sea, is a key concept in modern military strategy. The island arc of mainland China acts as a natural barrier, shaping naval power, air operations, missile strategy, and Indo-Pacific deterrence. It runs from Japan and the Ryukyu Islands through Taiwan and northern Philippines, then towards maritime Southeast Asia. The chain forms a narrow corridor between the East China Sea, South China Sea, and Pacific, making its strait vital for sea control and power projection. The Luzon Strait between Taiwan and northern Philippines is especially important. As a key route for Chinese submarines entering the Pacific, it is central to US and allied surveillance, anti-submarine operations, and planning. Control of the strait gives major leverage over Chinese naval power projection. Bases, radar, missile defenses, and airfields across the chain support early warning, extended reach, and rapid crisis response, especially from Okinawa and the Philippines. Taiwan's position makes it central to regional deterrence. Control of the island could shift access routes and the Western Pacific military balance. Beyond it, the second island chain runs from Japan's Bonin Islands through Guam and the Marianas to Palau. For China, operating past these chains marks the shift from coastal defense to blue water naval power. Today, the first island chain is a focus of military buildup, alliance coordination, and US-China competition. AUKUS supports allied undersea presence, while the Quad expands cooperation on maritime awareness, technology, and regional security. In the global news, Poland and Sweden have signed an agreement to acquire 3 Saab A26 submarines, which was announced on 29th of June. On the same day, the two countries also announced plans to deepen their bilateral security and defense cooperation in the Baltic Sea, including through a new initiative referred to as the Baltic Sea Pact, Project Orca. Saab announced the signing of the contract with Polish State Treasury Armaments Agency for the production and delivery of 3 A26 submarines. The contract also includes a weapons package and a training and support package. As part of the agreement between Poland and Sweden, Poland will also lease the RSWN submarine HMS Södermanland. Honeywell Aerospace has officially spun off as an independent, publicly traded company focused on defense and commercial aviation. Honeywell previously announced in February 2025 its strategy to split its business into 3 parts: an automation business known as Honeywell Technologies, an advanced materials unit spun off in 2025 and now known as Solstice, and the aerospace segment. UK Navy plans to build drone-equipped warships instead of replacing aging destroyers. They plan to replace aging warships which will be scrapped in favor of building at least 6 new modern hybrid vessels equipped to deploy drones as part of the UK's upcoming defence strategy. The Ministry of Defence said the new vessels would be more suited to the pace and nature of modern warfare and a better investment than a small number of large expensive ships. Investments will now go towards 6 new common combat vessels, which the department said would be capable of coordinating uncrewed systems in the air, on the surface and under the sea to deliver more resilient air defence. Over £500 million will be committed to continue the transformation of the UK Commando Force, including with new high-speed joint commando craft. The Defence Secretary has shifted the defence investment plan towards more immediate priorities, including getting the latest kit into the hands of military personnel on the front line. The DIP is expected to be published ahead of the NATO summit and set out funding to support the armed forces, bolster British industry and strengthen NATO's deterrence and defence. The UK's elite commandos will be equipped with new high-speed boats and the latest drone and autonomous technology as the new Defence Secretary shifts spending towards frontline priorities to deter emerging threats. A quick wrap of today's news. India deepened its strategic footprint by extending a 1,250 crore line of credit to Seychelles, alongside discussions on the advanced light helicopter. Raksha Mantri unveiled the delegation of financial powers to DRDO. Indian Army continued its transformation with the raising of BAAZ drone battalions and the operationalization of its first integrated battle group from July, as India's defence exports gained momentum, with Nordic nations moving towards procuring Indian artillery systems. Globally, attention remained focused on the strategic first island chain. Poland and Sweden strengthened Baltic security through the Saab A26 submarine agreement. Honeywell Aerospace began operating as an independent company, and the UK unveiled plans for a new generation of drone-equipped warships, highlighting the rapid evolution of future military capabilities. At Sugosha Media, we simplify complexity, from decoding defense policies to enabling market entry and structuring offsets. We help organizations move from strategy to execution in India's aerospace and defense ecosystem. Follow Sugosha Advisory on LinkedIn to stay updated and be part of the conversation shaping the future. Our focus is clear: turning regulatory understanding into business outcomes. We look forward to partnering in shaping the next phase of growth in this sector. Thank you.